Hello, gremlins! Today I'm drawing more mushrooms. I now have a list of colourful and interesting mushroom species, and I'll be turning 3 of them into fairy characters today. Thanks to my friend, the Bearded Gremlin, for helping me come up with mushrooms and motivating me to do research. First up is the chanterelle mushroom. The chanterelle is one of the most popular wild edible mushrooms. Disclaimer, please do not eat random mushrooms you find in the wild without significant training. Chanterelles have been used in cooking in Europe since the 16th century. The risk of gathering chanterelles comes from look-alike mushrooms which are not edible. Chanterelles are orange, yellow, or white, and funnel-shaped. While most mushrooms have gills, chanterelles have folds, also known as ridges or false gills. Gills are separate removable parts of mushrooms that are usually a different color than the cap or stem. Folds are part of the cap or stem, the same color as the rest of the mushroom, and are forked. Some chanterelle lookalikes have gills instead of folds as a distinguishing feature. Chanterelle caps can be up to 5 inches in diameter, but usually the diameter is closer to 2 inches. Unlike other mushrooms, chanterelle caps are not simple circles, but often wavy and/or concave. Chanterelles are most common in Eurasia, North and Central America, and Northern Africa. They grow in mossy conifer forests, mountainous birch forests, European beech forests, and grassy areas. They grow in summertime. Chanterelles have a symbiotic relationship with trees. I used this element to inspire my character to use a birch dog as a service animal. If I had thought ahead, I might have made the service animal a small, fairy-sized animal, but I went with my first impulse. The dog is magical and is made of birch wood. When looking at the chanterelle, I see the false gills as pleats, so I gave this character a knee-length pleated skirt. She also has a shirt with a ruffle that resembles the cap of a chanterelle. Because the chanterelle caps are funnel-shaped rather than a round cap, it made turning it into a hat complicated. It slightly resembles a misshapen chef's hat, but that is not intentional. The character also has a wavy, dirty blonde bob and ankle boots. She has moth wings. Her service dog has a pattern of birch bark and his ears look like leaves. This character loves to cook. She is shy and anxious, but very open with people she is close with. She is an introvert who spends a lot of time curled up with her dog, doing things with her hands like sewing, whittling, or making food. In overwhelming situations, she goes quiet and reserved. The service dog helps her with anxiety and navigation, as she is only partially sighted and has night blindness. This character drawing was one of the easiest recently. The sketch came together without much trouble. I hid one of the hands with the skirt, which definitely makes my life easier, and there weren't a lot of time-consuming details. I like how the character stands out with her yellow color palette against the green birch forest background. Before I move on to the next mushroom, let me quickly advertise my Etsy store. If you are enjoying this video, chances are you like mushrooms. If you do like mushrooms, I am selling 2 different shirts with mushroom-centric hand-painted designs. My Etsy store is linked in the description, or you can search Green the Gremlin, no spaces. Products are shipped to Australia, the US, and Canada, and all purchases directly support me. Anyway, back to the video. So, during the recording of this drawing, something went wrong and my screen recording stopped. I didn't realize for a while, so I did a lot of outlining progress which did not get recorded. Sorry about these technical difficulties. Let's learn about a bright blue mushroom. The next mushroom is the Mycena interrupta, also known as the pixie's parasol. This tiny blue mushroom grows in Australia and New Zealand. Its cap ranges from 0.3 inches to 0.7 inches in diameter. The pixie's parasol sprouts as small dark blue globules. The caps grow into a concave shape with a slightly depressed center. They are sticky and look slimy in moist weather. The gills are white and visible as pale lines through the top of the cap. The stipe of this mushroom is white. The base of the stipe attaches to the wood where it grows with a white flat disc. The spores are also white. Pixie's parasols grow in small colonies in rotting wet wood in rainforests and eucalypt forests. Inspired by the name Pixie's parasol, I gave this fairy a blue parasol. The standout part of this design is the oversized, translucent blue jacket. I decided to give this fairy some translucent clothing because the cap of the mushroom is translucent. This is my first try making a transparent effect for clothing. It is supposed to look like a shiny resin or plastic material. It is definitely stylized, but playing with the opacity makes for an interesting effect. This character's tunic and bare arms are visible through the jacket. Since the jacket is a statement piece, the rest of their outfit is simple, shades of plain blue. They have a dark blue tunic, pale blue leggings, and flats. On their head they have a Mycena interrupta cap as a funky hat. I gave them a half-shaved hairstyle. The hair that remains is light blue with dark blue tips. They have dark eyes and blue lipstick. I also gave them a splotchy birthmark on their arm, visible under the jacket. This character loves unusual and bold fashion, to match their vibrant and bold personality. They love being around people, they are talkative and passionate, and their love language is physical touch. They are very empathetic and bond with people easily, but sometimes overshare and don't know how to regulate their emotions or words. This character was really easy, and other than the technical difficulties with recording, the whole thing came together really well. I found the pose that I can draw without difficulty. Mycena interrupta is a cool-looking mushroom, but there isn't much more to say about them, so on to the final mushroom for now. The final mushroom for today is the wrinkled peach mushroom, also known as the Rhodotus or rosy vein cap. This pink mushroom is found in North America, Africa, Europe, and Asia. In Europe, it is a threatened species, having declined in population due to disease. It grows on rotting hardwood stumps and appears in cool, damp weather. The wrinkled peach is pink or salmon in color. Its round cap is ridged and veined. Those ridges are light, and between them there are deep and narrow pits. Under the ridges, the surface color of the cap varies based on the light conditions during development, ranging from salmon pink to red. The texture of the cap is gelatinous. When cut open, the internal flesh of the mushroom is pink. The gills are thick and closely packed, and are a similar color to the cap. The stem is white, and the size of the stem also varies depending on light conditions. The cap starts off round and flattened with age. They are small, ranging from 0.8 to 2.4 inches in diameter. The edges of the cap roll inwards over the gills. The wrinkled peach is often seen bleeding red or orange liquid. Scientists aren't sure what benefit the mushrooms gain from this bleeding, but the wrinkled peach is not the only mushroom that does so. The droplets persist through the entire maturation of the mushroom. One more interesting trait of the wrinkled peach mushroom, besides its striking appearance, is how its phenotype is affected by light. Scientists have studied the growth of this mushroom in lab environments. Mushrooms grown in green light had short, straight stems and pale orange caps, which reflected the appearance of wild mushrooms growing under green canopy leaves. Under amber light, caps were brighter and smaller, similar to the appearance of mushrooms growing in autumn, surrounded by orange leaves. I turned this mushroom into a feminine character dressed in lace and patterned fabric. The veins on the cap remind me of lace, so I gave her a long lace shirt with bell sleeves. Over the lace shirt, I gave her a pink dress with a pattern reminiscent of the veins. I gave her amber jewelry to reflect the orange droplets on the stem of my reference image. She has light pink hair in twin buns under her mushroom cap hat. This character is reserved and doesn't talk much. She prefers to observe and listen when around other people. She likes art and poetry and prefers to be creative alone. She is also more vulnerable than the people around her, susceptible to sickness due to a medical condition, so she is nervous about being around people she doesn't know, though she knows to be careful around her to protect her. Unfortunately, I had too high expectations for this art piece, and I'm not very happy with how my design ideas translated. While I like how I drew the mushroom hat, most of the design didn't come together like I imagined it, and this led to being my least favorite character design out of the three. It's such a pretty and unique mushroom, and I don't think I reflected that well. Unfortunately, I don't know what I would change, or I might just redraw the whole character. That is still a possibility for the future, but for now I'm leaving her as she is, even if I'm disappointed with the result. Unfortunately, it's part of life as an artist. Not every drawing will work out, and not every character design will look the way you wanted it. Here are all three of my designs from today. Thank you for watching me nerd out about mushrooms again. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to check out my Etsy store if you like mushrooms. If you liked this video, please like it and consider subscribing. If you know any mushrooms that would be interesting to turn into characters, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you have a favorite design from today's video. Until next time, bye!